Hey everybody, welcome back to my third All About the Mouse page. This time it is a pick five. We had to pick five flowers, four pictures, three buttons, two pattern papers, and one cardstock. So I chose to use the Winnie the Pooh collection by Reminisce, and I'm showing you there. I'm using two of the pattern papers from that and then a yellow cardstock. I'm using yellow flowers from 49 and Market, and then four pictures of when we went to Crystal Palace to meet the Winnie the Pooh characters. So this is going to be a pretty simple page to put together, and I love the idea of using these Winnie the Pooh papers. The papers are really kind of hand drawn, they have a watercolor feel. So it doesn't always match some of the Disney pictures that you get, that are more vibrant and colorful. But I thought this actually worked. And I'm pairing it with the fantasy, Say Cheese Fantasy from Simple Stories. So last year, Simple Stories came up with a collection of different sets of paper based on the lands of Disneyland. So they had a fantasy, an adventure, a frontier, and then a tomorrow. And this particular Fantasyland one is not necessarily one that I will use a lot because we tend to go to Disney World. So Fantasyland, we don't have you can see it there, the whale. We don't have the same castle. We don't have some of the same things that they do in Disneyland. But the colors, the pinks, the yellows, the lighter colors really work with this collection. So I'm going to use those colors of the stickers with this collection. I only got the foam stickers for Fantasy. I did not get the full collection because I knew I wouldn't use it. And I think that's important. One of the things I really like about that Simple Stories collection was that they gave you so many options. So now what you're seeing is what I did is I cut a large 9-inch strip of the Winnie the Pooh background paper and I offset it a little bit. It's 2 inches of cardstock on one side, 1 inch on the other. I did that on purpose to kind of have your eye kind of go around the page. I thought that was fun. I used black soot to ink the edges. And now for my second cardstock, I'm picking one of the pages, or my second pattern paper, picking one of the pages that had quotes from the different characters. Now, one of the problems that I did run into was because this was I think a book collection and not a Disney collection, Tigger is really not there that much. So there was no pictures of Tigger, there was no graphics of Tigger, and there was only one quote of Tigger. And it happened to be blue, but we just dealt with it. So I'm going to read you the quotes just so you can see the ones that I picked. I'll start with Tigger's just because it was the only one I had to choose from. It says, I always said Tiggers could climb trees. Now that it's easy, not that it's easy, mind you, of course, there's coming down too, which will be difficult unless one fell when it would be easy. Then the Winnie the Pooh quote is, a day without a friend is like a pot without a single drop of honey left inside. The Piglet one was, the things that make me different are the things that make me me. And the ER one is, a little consideration, a little thought for others makes all the difference. So I really enjoyed having the option to have those quotes. I liked having the picture of Piglet and Eeyore. I was going to add a picture of Pooh, but then I thought because I have the background paper that's Pooh, it's fine. I did want a picture of Tigger, but they didn't have one, so we're just making the best of it. I did want to, because I haven't done it in a long time, use the thread technique. So I really wanted to add a little bit more pink into this. So I took some pink thread and I kind of zhushed it up and I put it behind the quote for Piglet. And I really like how it turned out, but I forgot that you don't really see a lot of the thread when you do this. So I should have done more thread, and it's just because it's been such a long time since I did it. But it does add a little bit of movement in that cluster, and then you're going to see me add some white thread to the Eeyore cluster and the Pooh cluster just to give a little bit of movement. Now, I am sticking to the pick five, so I do have buttons. I'm going to use three buttons. Because there are four photos, I kind of have four clusters around, but we're only going to use three buttons because that was the idea. There was nothing about how many embellishment clusters you had to have, but I did have 3 buttons and 5 flowers. So you're going to see how I stick with that. I'm going to pop up the fussy cut Eeyore that I did, and I just love it. It was kind of funny because each of us had kind of a character that we wanted to take a picture with. Obviously, I wanted Piglet, and Nick wanted Eeyore, John wanted Tigger, and then Drew wanted Pooh. So we got that, and it's kind of fun to see those pictures. So here you're going to see me take the white thread and put that behind the Pooh. I thought about doing pink, but then I liked the fact that if Eeyore was white, had white thread, then I was going to diagonal white thread there in the other corner. So I am putting the thread down, and then I lost my button for a little bit. I had to go search for it. I ended up finding it and I put it on. So I've got all 3 buttons now, which is great. And this is kind of the base of the paper and the buttons for the layout. I think the last thing I need to add to make the pick 5 is the flowers, and you're going to see me do that next. So it was really kind of a fun pick 5. At first, I wasn't sure how I was going to do this in a Disney layout because I don't do a lot of flowers on my Disney pages. A lot of my Disney pages are more graphic and more red, and I don't have a lot of red flowers. So when I decided to use these 4 pictures, it really made it easy because I had these really fun yellow flowers to do. So really think about, which one of these pick 5s might be difficult for you. And for me, it really was the flowers that was going to be the most difficult, 5 flowers, because I don't use a lot of flowers anymore on my layouts. So the first thing I did was figure out what I had 4 pictures of that I could use on a layout. This was perfect. Then after I had 4 pictures, I figured out a collection I was going to use. And just obviously, the Winnie the Pooh collection was the collection I was going to use. And then I went and searched to find what flowers did I have that matched that collection. And that really kind of made it work. So I put 2 of the yellow flowers with the Tigger embellishment cluster. I put 1 with the other 3, so that's 5 flowers. I pulled the balloons that match the colors and put them right there next to Tigger. I'm going to just add some of the smaller embellishments around, so the flowers or the little star clusters. I did put Be Our Guest on the top because we were eating, and My Happy Place on the bottom. Obviously, Be Our Guest was supposed to be a reference to Belle, but that's okay. And finally, I added the little party hat. So thank you so much for watching. You're about to see a close-up of my page. I hope you come back next month when it's all about the mouse.